And we are on. Good morning, everybody. My name is LoveBot, and this is CDRomatron, as you might have seen on a few other runs at the marathon. This is The Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night for the Game Boy Advanced, and I think we should just get going, and we'll explain more about the game as we're going. So you can do the countdown and the button.
Okay, we'll go on go.
Yes.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, man. So yeah, as mentioned, this is The Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night, the second game in a trilogy, whereas the first and the second game is on GBA. The third game is only like on DS as for handhelds. The GBA version is much different from the console version, if any of you have tried that. And the tech that you saw us trying to do here in the beginning is like roll chaining, which is faster than moving just normally, but only if done correctly, and I'm not the best at it, so I messed that up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm purposely not going for the strategy just because it's very small increase, so it's quite a difference between just going for it and you don't save that much, you don't lose that much time for not going for it, and it's a lot safer.
And I didn't get the tech skip, actually. That never happens, that's free.
So what we were aiming for there was by climbing up on that ledge and then doing the glide over to the right. Normally when you finish climbing up that ledge, what will happen is a text box will appear, as you saw. However, if you just jump off and glide to the right, you'll completely skip it. We're going to be going for a setup here. So there's this enemy we need to fight and kill for a relic. The setup for this is going to be standing still. So we need to walk. So Spyro will auto-walk back over to this side of the room regardless. So if we just ran up and fought him, then it could end up anywhere in the room. However, by fighting him there, the relic drops almost exactly where we need him. So we're going to be entering this room, which is this training room. Originally we thought we had to hit him 5 times, because you need to hit him 5 times to unlock the relic here. And the game doesn't let you leave the room without doing the training thing. But if you just hit him once, the game lets you just leave.
And apparently there's a really good test for this game out, which actually got us into the game. And apparently the tester knew all about that, we just didn't. So that was found very not so long ago. Same with the language that we're running on right now, which is Dutch, was very recently discovered to be the fastest language by like a few seconds. As you might be able to tell, there's a lot of text matching, so language actually does quite a huge difference.
Yeah, a lot of the text you're going to be seeing is going to be in this first area of the game. This is essentially a tutorial teaching you how to play the game. And these relics we're collecting up are each giving us an extra power. So we're collecting the basic things like unlocking the ability to jump, do a double jump, sprinting, wall jumps, etc, etc.
Sprinting you'll see us doing a lot. We just picked that up. So now the whole roll chaining strategy that I tried in the beginning is not useful anymore. So it's only for the first few minutes.
So whenever we do a double jump, that will cause us to lose the sprint, and whenever you bonk into an enemy, the game will lag for a short period of time. So there's going to be some points in the game where we're purposely not going to be sprinting as they're pretty enemy heavy, and you probably lose a bit of time overall.
Yeah, we are almost done with the first tutorial part here. It's the first like 5-6 minutes up until the first like elemental temple that we'll be doing very soon. We'll explain more about that when we get there. Essentially, Spyro falls asleep 4 times during the run and wakes up inside like a elemental temple, where we will unlock the different elemental breaths that we'll be using for the run. And the first one is the fire one, which we'll be doing now. I caught a little bit back up to you now.
So in these elemental temples, there's 4 breaths in the Legend of Spyro series that we're going to be unlocking. We have the fire breath, which is the first one. There's an earth breath, an ice breath, and a lightning breath. And you unlock each of these by finding this large dragon in a portal in each of the 4 elemental temples. So we need to find that before we finish the dungeon.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Definitely.
Please go ahead.
We have a $20 donation from Dan Salvato saying, "Hey LoveBot, great to see you at ESA. Just want to say that you've brightened my speedrunning career by joining the Yoshi's Story community, and I'm proud to support you there as well as here. Looking forward to seeing Spyro, and good luck on the race."
Yeah, thank you so much, Dan. That was very kind of you.
Yeah, shoutouts to Dan. He does if there's anything great out, like, you look at the things Dan has done, and it's just like, that is frankly amazing.
Yeah, for those who know Frank, Dan Salvato is the guy who has made Frank-A-Facey.
Yeah, I don't think he maintains it at the moment, but yeah, he did a lot of work with that. So up is coming is the first boss. So at the end of each of these elemental temples, there is a themed elemental boss. This game has a type system, so fire isn't particularly effective against fire, so I'm just going to be beating this guy down. If I can get into this corner, I can mash the air combo. So some of the relics we're going to be collecting throughout the run are additional attacks for combos. That was something we actually missed by not doing a 5 combo on the training dummy. So we're limited in terms of how much damage we can output all at once.
All this text. And I think this would be another good time if you have anything more to read. There will be a lot of downtime during this run.
Certainly. We have a $5 donation from Dill Wingo saying, "Yo, my boys, Romatron and LoveBot. Best of luck to both of you lads. Glad to see you two having such a good time."
Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Dill.
also shoutouts to Dill, he's fantastic.
So yeah, as you might have been able to hear on my, I think mine is the one with audio. All the wait sound you heard is from the flying enemies, which is hands down the most annoying enemy in the game. Doesn't matter what type of enemy or flying enemy it is. If they fly, they will knock you back a lot, but they also only take 1 hit to kill, so you can like get rid of them pretty fast. But in some situations, they're really annoying. And yeah, Mike technically just made it out of the tutorial there by selecting 2nd level. And then the game opens up a bit more and you get more freedom. It doesn't stop you all the time with text.
So these crystals that we're going to be walking past, they contain gems. In this game, what gems do is they can refill your health as well as regain energy, and there's a few other gems as well, such as ones which give you experience points and ones that give you rage meter. We don't unlock rage meter to the very end, and we're not actually going to be collecting enough rage gems to actually be able to use the rage anytime. Similarly with the experience, you collect experience gems for beating bosses primarily, and for doing combos against overworld enemies. However, you gain so little experience in this game to the point of, over the course of a full run, even if you did collect all the ones from the bosses, you wouldn't be able to unlock any of your breaths any number of times.
It's kind of silly. I think it's built around you playing on a harder difficulty, maybe. Because we're playing this on easy, by the way. And the difficulty ramps up exponentially. The hard mode is actually really hard. I've never beaten it. To our knowledge, Mike is one of the only people who has ever beaten it, from what we can see on the internet, so it's really difficult.
Yeah. So there is the 4 difficulties in this game. There is easy, normal, hard, and dark difficulty. The first 3 are your actual difficulties. Hard is essentially a bonus mode in the game. The only difference is enemies have more health, they deal more damage, and their movements are different.
Yeah, so
and some enemies, some bosses have like extra phases as well, although I think that's just the final one, and it's just the same phase he always does, just another one. So the harder difficulties aren't particularly interesting, hence why we go with easy, just because it's just faster.
Yeah, it doesn't introduce anything new, it's just the enemies will just take longer to kill, basically. And a much higher chance of you dying. And dying in this game is not something you want to do for the speedrun, obviously, because you have to replay the entire stage. If you die to one of the elemental bosses, you have to replay the entire stage leading up to that boss. And that can actually happen for the Ice Temple one, because that boss is a little bit tricky. I won't lie, it's definitely happened to me a few times before.
So some of these golem enemies that you see us running past, they have a very long wake-up animation, and their hitbox doesn't become active for some time. You can't just run through enemies in this game, they've got a solid hitbox. However, the hitbox doesn't become active for those for so long to the point where you can just run through them.
So for this boss, we want to try and time our roll so we can roll back, like away from him and back in again in our iframes. Not to take damage, because taking damage is super slow on this boss. Pretty good fight for both of us, I think, there. really neck and neck right now.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well.
Our last race, actually the submission video we did for ESA, it came down to the very last boss. There's a skip we need to do on that boss, or hopefully can get. And if one gets it and the other one doesn't, like the race is over at that point. So we were kind of hoping it came down to that again, because that's kind of exciting, obviously. We'll see.
So we're coming up to a small sequence break here. So by doing a jump off the wall, we can essentially get up to here without having to go all the way around to the left.
Flying enemies, though.
There we go.
Really
yeah,
annoying.
these flying enemies, like we mentioned before, there's three types of enemies in this game effectively. There's your regular ground enemies, which have a set amount of health and are just regular enemies. Flying enemies only take one hit but have a large quantity of knockback. And then you've also got a second group of ground enemies later on, which work similarly to the flying enemies, in which they have a lot of knockback and only take one hit to kill. We won't be seeing those until like the airship level. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of enemies here. We could be sprinting through here, but every time you bonk into enemy, you need to wait for a short period of time. So, if we were trying to go for that there, that would slow us down a lot.
Sprinting through the cave, it can be done for sure, but it's very hard to get optimally, yeah.
So we're going a little out of our way here to pick up this relic. So there's a few relics in this, there's about, I think, 40 relics in this game total, somewhere around there. And they'll give various power-ups. The one we just picked up there just straight up increases the damage we do from our melee attacks. There's 2 of those in the game, and we're going to be picking up both of them. The other one will be in a temple much later in the game. The purposes for those are, it allows us to get some faster cycles and bosses, and it just helps us clear through the game faster.
Worst part of the game coming up now. There's so many flying enemies coming out of this egg, or whatever, spawner thing, whatever it is. Hopefully I get a good pattern on it. Not bad at all. That can definitely be super annoying with all the knockback.
Yeah, mine is giving me a bad day. There we go. So I can see sometimes we do stutter a little bit when we go for the sprint. That's because the controls are a little awkward in this game. You gotta realize it is for the Game Boy Advance, so the only buttons we have to work with is A, B, 2 triggers, and a D-pad. So sprint is bound to double tapping right.
You can also hold, like, start running and then do an attack to start your sprint, but if you mistime that, you just stop and do an attack, which is super annoying, so it's better to double tap. And I'm coming up on the first, like, actual overworld boss now, called Naga, and the gimmick about him is that he has a shield that you can technically ignore the shield and damage him, but that requires some really good timing and a little bit of luck. So usually what we'll do is just try and kill his shield so we can damage the boss afterwards. But not much going on for this boss besides that, so if there's anything again to read, I think this would be a good time.
Alright. We are raising money here at ESA for Save the Children. 263 million children are out of school. That's more than 1 in 6 school-aged children. Educating children gives the next generation the tools to fight poverty and prevent disease. A small contribution of $5 can provide education supplies for one child, giving him or her the tools they need to continue their education. Thank you all for donating.
And there you see, I got the shield down, so now he can't block or anything, and he just becomes super free. And this is the only instance where you have to pick up the XP crystals dropped by the boss, otherwise the game will not progress. It's the only instance in the game where that is a thing. We don't really know why. But yeah, now Spyro got kidnapped by the monkey pirates. Don't ask me about the lore of this game. I don't think any of us knows much about it.
Not wrong, not wrong.
But yeah, now we captured and aboard like an airship, an airship. And we have to make our way out here. And we're locked, we cannot select any other levels, like Spyro is captured and locked here, so we do need to do this. Like, I mean, if you were to play this casually and wanted to play another stage, you could not do that. You have to beat this. Here it introduces doors that we have to attack to get past. It takes 5 hits per door. Sprinting into the door also counts as a hit, so that's a little bit of an optimization there you can do. But yeah, here's also where we get introduced to the dog enemies Mike was explaining earlier. Which, yeah, they take 1 hit but knock you back, just like the flying enemies does. And this is the first arena. We'll be revisiting this arena a little bit later. This is where we'll be fighting a boss called Advisor, but before that, Spyro is taking another nap. We just gotta clear the arena first, and then we'll be going to the next temple, which is Ice Temple. And here I just wanna try and group up these enemies so I can kill them together. Oh, that's bad. And we need to pick up a relic here that's RNG, and of course it landed on the opposite side. It can either go left, right, or in the middle, and it likes to always pick the side that you're not on. But yeah, this is me coming into Ice Temple now, and it has like ice physics. And a gimmick where you need to, after we've gotten the ice breath, we need to create platforms for ourselves over some water in order to progress, which is actually a fun little mechanic that's not being used more than this one time for the speedrun, but we've been thinking about doing all relics runs, and for that it's definitely useful. Like there's more places where you need to get some hidden relics where you actually need to create ice platforms for yourself. Yeah, that was both of us getting the ice breath. Now we just have to backtrack a bit. And here comes the ice platforming we gotta do. Okay, nice, I got that dog enemy. We just call them dog enemies, we don't really know what it is. And here we need to be careful not to fall down. If I fall down here, the backtrack to get back up is really, really long.
Yeah, you need to go all the way over to the left-hand side and then climb all the way back up. Regardless of how far you are to the right, there's no other way to get up.
Okay, that was a clean ice. Now the boss is super annoying. He has a lot of knockback and you're on ice, so every time he knocks you back, you just slide so far back and you can't, yeah.
So this is an instance where that typing I mentioned previously has come up. So now we finally have a breath which is effective against a boss we're going to be fighting. So the fire breath we picked up earlier is going to be doing tons of damage to this boss.
I got a really good fight.
The problem is he barely has any hit stun, so he'll be respawning very quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely my least favorite boss in the game. Yeah, we both had really good fights there actually.
Time for a quick donation.
Of course.
We have a $10 donation from Becky Chan saying, "Thank you for representing the Spyro community at ESA. Good luck on the race, M&M. Heart."
Thank you so much, Becky.
Shout out to Becky as well.
Yeah, she's doing the German commentary on the German restream right now.
We think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of fun Spyro going on. Talk and I have been playing a lot of Fusion this past few days. It's been a lot of fun.
The Spyro handheld community is buzzing. Get in on it, everybody. No, but real talk, the Spyro community is actually really, really welcoming. Nothing but good things to say about them. Very welcoming and helpful for, like, with new runners, teaching them things and so on.
So there we just unlocked the Fury ability. You're not going to see it. Sorry, we just don't get enough chance.
Yeah, this is Advisor, who we'll be fighting 3 times. And what we'll both be trying to do here is get him into a juggle like this, and we just keep doing the same juggle. And hopefully he won't get out of it. There's a chance that he will just retaliate. This is not like a guaranteed thing at all. Yeah, there he just went back. Good fight, good fight. But yeah, as mentioned, we got to do that 3 times, and this is like by far the easiest. He has more HP and he will be faster the other times, so he will retaliate much more often. But yeah, now we got like the escape sequence from the ship. And again, since none of us really know the story or play the language we understand, I don't even know what's going on. But something is going on the ship, and Spyro is bailing. So we'll soon be coming up on our next boss, Scab, which has, I'm just gonna explain that now, has quite a lot of RNG in that there's 3 different attacks he can do. Like, the boss is immune to damage until he does a certain attack. But there's a chance that he can do 2 other attacks that will not make him vulnerable at all. So we're always hoping for good RNG there, and that can actually make or break like good paced runs, what RNG you get on him.
I'd almost kind of say he almost has 1 attack, which causes you to have to wait, because I've literally never seen the other one. I think you've only seen it like 3 times ever.
I think 2 times actually.
I don't know why it's so uncommon, but he just almost never does the attack.
Yeah, that's me coming up to Scab now. So what we want him to do is, on his back, he has like a cannon, and we want him to shoot his cannonball just like that. He can also shoot with his hand, like a pistol kind of thing. We don't want that, and we also don't want him to use his sword. But the one with the sword is the one that we never see. Okay, that's the bad shot we don't want.
Every single time he shoots a pistol, you've just lost time because you just need to wait.
And ideally we want to 3-cycle him here, but that is actually quite tight, and I don't think I'm gonna get it. Because I ran out of energy.
Oh, I'm on the wrong side.
But yeah, so ideally you want him to do 3 cannonballs, and you finish him in 3 cycles. Yeah, I'm gonna do 4 cycles. But actually the current world record gets this in 4 cycles, so it loses a lot of time here. Yeah, that's Scab. And here again, Spyro's taking a little bit of a nap. Are you getting 3 cycles?
No.
So this is Lightning Temple, the last temple where we'll be unlocking breaths. We'll be unlocking the Lightning Breath, obviously, which we will be using for the end boss. That's pretty much the only application for it for the run. And here we also go a little bit out of route to pick up another damage upgrade, so that we can hopefully 1-cycle the boss, the lightning boss here. It's very precise and it requires some good RNG as well. 2-cycle is pretty, like, I hate using the word free, but we pretty much always get that. And that is partially down to the damage upgrade that I just picked up.
Yeah, what we're meaning by RNG dependent is you'll see these wisp-type enemies that are flying around this level. Effectively what the boss does is just spawns a bunch of those randomly around it. So if you're in a position where you can attack the boss and also take care of the wisps, then you're in a perfectly good position. Otherwise, you need to go out of your way to attack them.
Yeah, so let's say that you're standing on the right side of the boss, you want all of the wisps to spawn from the left side. But it happens very rarely. This is me coming up on the lightning boss now, and sadly you cannot damage the boss right away. You have to just wait for him to turn purple or pink, which he is doing now. Okay, I got knocked around. I actually got it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's 1 cycle with pretty good RNG. Like, most of the wisps were on the correct side, so that is about as fast as I can do that, or we can do that. But yeah, that concludes all of the temple visits, so we're technically coming up on end game now. We have advisor fights and a few more levels before the end boss.
Oh, almost, okay.
You almost got...
I was 1 or 2 hits off, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's how it usually goes, like being a few hits off.
But yeah, without the damage power up, yeah, you just can't get that.
I think technically the Taz gets it, but he's using some combo power-ups that we don't go for. So it's like this route is actually made by Mike, and there's a Taz route as well that people could use if they want to learn the game, but it uses completely different movement tech and fight tech pretty much.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances in this game of things where they're really fast if you're able to execute them, but end up being significantly slower if you fail to execute them.
Yeah.
And those are generally fairly difficult as well. So it's trying to find that balance of going between things which don't lose that much time and are fairly safe.
I feel like a lot of optimization from this game is movement optimization, knowing when to sprint and stuff like that. And besides that, there's actually RNG in enemy spawns. So the little passageway you just saw me pass, there's usually a big snail like the one here, which is blocking your way. And it didn't spawn for me that time, which happens quite often actually, with several enemies in the game. Yeah, this is second advisor fight, and you can already see he's much faster. He jumped away from me instantly. But essentially I'm trying to do the same combo here. Rough start, but besides that, actually a pretty good fight.
May I interject with a quick donation?
Yes, go ahead.
We have a $50 donation from Anonymous saying, I'm currently enduring night shifts, and when I get home, all my friends are either at work or at sleep. Thanks for keeping my company in ESA. Great event, even greater cause. Donation goes towards Runner's Choice, split 50-50 between them.
Oh, we'll have to see what donations or incentives are left after this.
I think I might know who that was. I'm not sure if that was meant to be anonymous or not, but oh well. I'll catch up with them after.
So what you saw me do, that we've been doing that a few times through the run. You can ground pound diagonally in this game, and you can then cancel that ground pound with a breath right before you hit the ground. Because normally if you ground pound even diagonally and hit the ground, you'll get like the actual ground pound animation, and it's super slow. So you can cancel that with a breath at the very end, just for a little bit of movement optimization. But that was the last stage for me, I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of text to match here. Yeah, so now I just gotta fight Advisor again for the third time, and then there's the end boss. Goal. Which there is a skip on, which I'll explain. I'll just explain it now. So essentially, on easy mode, the end boss will stop the fight at around 20% health left and heal himself back to full, and then have very, very annoying attack patterns for the rest of the fight. That can be skipped by stun locking the boss immediately, like right before he hits the 20%. And with a specific attack pattern, we can just about kill him before he heals himself. So I'm hoping that any of us, one of us, gets that, so we get to show that off. But yeah, we're just one fight between us now, so Mike is coming up on the third advisor fight now. But yeah, that's me coming up on the boss now, so hopefully I get that. Hopefully I get that. There's a bit of text first, though.
While you're at it, do we have some time for some quick messages?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so some upcoming donation incentives that we have here are the Kirby and the Amazing Mirror 80% co-op, selection of Kirby's Color incentive, Bid War, with currently in the lead having Ocean at $90, Cherry not that far behind at $85, and Carbon at $51. It's still anyone's game, so get those donations in. After that, we have the Wind Waker HD file name bid war. In first place, we have Heck18 with 1,281, and then Tom Patas with 535. If you want to add your own options in there, just remember there is an 8-character limit for the game. Thank you for donating.
So I didn't get the heal skip, and I almost swore on stream there, but I didn't get it. I hit him 1 times too many, I think. So the setup, I ruined the setup essentially. So I had to fight the boss 2 times, basically. And time is coming. It is a little bit of a weird timing for this game, because after you beat the boss, he heals, you beat the boss again. Now you're turned into Dark Spyro, you beat the boss again. And then we kill 30 of his enemies. And time is on the 30th kill when the UI disappears. And good luck. Hopefully you get heal skip, Mike. And that's time for me. $30-35. Not bad, actually.
Oh, almost.
Oh, you almost got it.
I think I was 1 hit away.
But yeah, it's very precise. And the thing is, you can't really tell how much HP. You can see his HP bar, but knowing exactly what point to start the last juggle on is kind of hard to tell. So many runs for both of us get to this point, and we miss heal skip, and that might be it. The run might just die there. And there's a lot of dialogue after you finish the game before the credits. So I'm just mashing through all of this while Mike finishes up. Essentially, Spyro is turning into stone here, and that's the end of the story. And we get to see Hunter, who was not in this game at all, but apparently he's part of the credits, so...
He's in the console versions. There we go.
GG, man.
GG.
Good run. But yeah, that was The Legend of Spyro, the Eternal Night for Game Boy Advance. Sadly, we didn't either of us get the bigger skip that was at the end, but that's how most runs actually go. It's a bit finicky, but yeah, good runs for both of us, I would say.
Indeed.
And thank you so much for all the people in the chat shouting out and donations with our names in and all that good stuff. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to the rest of the races today.